Hey, this is Gina Grad.
Hi, this is Teresa Strasser.
Hi, everyone. This is Mike Errico.
Hey there. This is Casey Cavalier.
I'm Rocky Rose.
And you are listening to The Jay Franze Show.
Lucky you.
Welcome to The Jay Franze Show. A behind-the-curtain look at the entertainment industry with insights you can't pay for and stories you've never heard. Now, here's your host, Jay Franze.
And we are coming at you live. I am Jay Franze, and joining me tonight is the mutt to my Jeff, my beautiful co-host, Miss Tiffany Mason.
Hey, Jay.
If you are new to the show, this is your source for the latest news, reviews, and interviews. So if you would like to join in, comment, or fire off any questions, please head over to jfranze.com. And if you would like to join us here live, if you would like to make comments, if you would like to ask questions, if you would like to make fun of us, you can do that over at jfranze.com/live. All right, my friend, before we get started, we have to talk about the question of the day.
Please.
Question of the day was suggested by you, and that is, what is your favorite breakup song? So, if you would like to put your favorite breakup song in the comments, we will go ahead and read it there. We also read it off the socials, but we will be talking about that later in the show. All right, I'd like to tell you a story. Is it okay to tell you a story?
I will sit down on the storytime carpet and eagerly listen.
I don't feel the eagerness, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. Because it's my daughter's birthday. My daughter's birthday, she's turning 15 years old. But that reminded me, 15 years ago, I was out working with a client. And I was on the road. I was doing a transfer, an escort and a transfer, which means I would drive them places and I would escort the artist through crowds or to shows or to award shows. So I was out with this client, and they had a child right after mine. So we're on the road, and we're talking, and he's asking me questions about my child. You know, does she sleep through the night? Is she eating this? Is she doing that? And after a while, I looked at him like, you realize I'm here with you, and my wife is home with the baby right now. So I don't know any of these things you're asking me. And he laughed at me, but this person that I was on the road with was Eric Church. And I bring up Eric Church because I saw that he's on the road. He's going out on the road again. He's somebody that not only did I like him back then, and he was just a genuinely nice guy, but he has performed with one of my favorite artists. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
Lzzy Hale from Hailstorm.
Oh,
and
I could have guessed.
This was at the CMA Awards. So it was the year that I drove him to. It was nice, and we got to go to the award show. And I've worked with her a couple times too. She's a very nice person, but this night was about him. And to see him go on the stage and then bring her up on stage to play with him, I thought was really cool. And not only was that really cool, but nobody in the country world knew who she was. And you could see the artists in the audience looking up at the stage like, who is this person? Because they didn't recognize a rock artist. But they performed really well. It was really good. And if you haven't seen it, and I know, Miss Tiffany, you have not, but if you haven't seen it, go on YouTube, search Lzzy Hale and Eric Church from the CMA Awards. It's a very cool video, and check out the reactions from the people in the audience.
Very cool. So he must have a 15-year-old.
He does. Boone. Boone is his name.
Okay. Oh, it's a son.
It is a son. He has another son, too. I forget his other son's name. But
Younger?
Boone was the first one. Tennessee Hawk was the second.
What interesting names.
I know, right?
Huh.
Not bad.
Very cool.
Nothing but good things to say about Eric and his family.
There is a celebrity on Instagram, and I saw that they had posted some pictures with their kid or some videos or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, their baby's so much older now. Never did pick up on the name or anything. She named her baby Sunday. So, like, did you have her on a Sunday and you're like, well, heck, I don't know, let's call her Sunday.
Why not?
It's a beautiful day that she came into our life, and let's call her Sunday. I thought, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes people are the name of the week.
Were you ever a fan of Eric Church?
I do like Eric Church.
Do you have a drink in your hand?
I have like iced tea. I have iced tea in my hand.
Yeah.
Now, if Pure Leaf wants to sponsor us, it's a Pure Leaf lemon iced tea. So go ahead and send your request. Oh,
No product placement here or anything, but if anybody wants to reach out, just let us know. Anyways, that's all I wanted to tell you. That was my little story for the day.
well, your Pepsi can looks a little retro,
Is it?
which makes me think of the first story that I want to share with you.
I see the segue there.
Yeah. So something else that is classic was the airplane from 2016 tour from Iron Maiden that they have dubbed Ed Force One. Ooh, George is in the house. Welcome back, George. Savor
Kenny's
the
in
flavor.
the house. And Caden's in the house.
Yay. Good to see you guys. Well, so what they're doing is so interesting to me. They have cut up this plane and they have turned it into collectible keychains and luggage tags. The tags are being sold by Germany's Aviation, and they are selling them for 66.66 pounds. And it is a reference to the 82 hit song, The Number of the Beast. And then Bruce Dickinson, the Iron Maiden singer, said she's been scrapped up to bits, but will live on. So kind of a cool way to, have the plane around, and a lot of fans, maybe like yourself, Jay, could revel in some piece of the history of the Boeing 747. Yes.
All right. So do you know why it's Eddie?
I do not.
Okay. Eddie was their, I don't know if you'd call him a mascot, but Eddie was what they created. It was a larger than life character that they would put on stage. And I mean, it would be 20 feet tall and overlooking
Cool.
everything. And obviously the Number of the Beast, the name of their song. But Bruce is a pilot. That's the whole thing behind the plane. So when Bruce came to town, I had a chance to work with him. A very, very nice guy. He was the first rock artist that came to Nashville that I picked up behind the hotel because there was too big of a crowd in front of the hotel. I took him through the tunnel system and escorted him on stage. He was just super, super nice about the whole thing. But I wish, I'm sure it's on Instagram. I have a picture of the past from that night. I think it was 2013,
So
if I remember
cool.
correctly.
That's very cool. Very cool. Well, Rascal Flatts has announced their upcoming 11th studio album, because we can't just say album. Life is a Highway Refueled Duets, set for the release of June 6th through Big Machine Records. This marks their first studio album in 8 years to follow their breakup in 2021. Celebrating their 25th anniversary, the album features 9 re-recordings of past hits with artists such as Blake Shelton, Jason Aldean, Carly Pearce, Kelly Clarkson, Backstreet Boys, Brandon Lake, Lzzy Hale, Lzzy Hale, Ashley Cook, and Jordan Davis. A new song, I Dare You, featuring the Jonas Brothers, was released as a lead single on January 31st. So it looks like they have released one of the songs, and those are the ones to come. I had to read the whole thing because I could never remember that many artists, but I thought that they were all worth mentioning.
Including Lzzy Hale.
Including
Worth
Lzzy,
mentioning.
Izzy, Hale, whatever.
I mean, might also be worth getting right, but hey.
I can't believe you guys. Jay is such a big fan. He was on Caden's show, the KCG show, and they asked him.
KGC, we say it slow so we get it right.
Because otherwise it becomes a tongue twister for Jay.
For me, yes.
Anywho, Caden asked him, who is your favorite artist? And he said, Lzzy Hale from Hailstorm. So I thought that was interesting that, he says it on the show, but it's actually true.
I don't recall that, but
Oh, you did. You did.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I just don't recall it because I don't remember what we were doing 2 minutes before this show.
Right.
My memory's
I can
horrible.
completely appreciate that.
I am old.
Well, Winona Judd is also set to embark on the Greatest Hits tour to celebrate 4 decades of chart-topping hits. Holy crap. Now, Winona is the daughter, is that correct?
Yes, Winona's the daughter, the redheaded daughter.
Uh-huh.
And Ashley is her sister, the actress.
Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. I love that song. Okay, Luke Combs is being inducted into Nashville's Music City Walk of Fame. It will take place on March 20th at 12:30 if you're in Nashville, and you would go to Walk of Fame Park. Have you been to the Walk of Fame, Jay?
You know what? I'm sure I have, but no, I have no idea where it is. I have no idea what it is. I mean, Nashville's a small place. I'm sure I've walked by it or over it, on it. I don't know, but no, nothing that
Well, I
remember.
wonder if it's like the Stars
I'm
for
sure it
Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah, it's got to be something like that.
I would normally think it would be on Music Row, but my gut is telling me it's probably down around the museum.
That's what I think too. So if anybody listening has been to Music City Walk of Fame, tell us. What does it look like? Is it like a whole bunch of guitars or what is it? Because in LA, it's the Stars.
We have
We'd like to know.
technology, my friend.
Oh,
There you go.
you know how to use that
Look at
crazy
that.
stuff?
Eric Church.
Stop. That's crazy.
It's almost as if it was planned.
It is almost as if it was planned.
It's not, but
Yeah.
and look, there's the Batman building in the background.
Oh, how about that? Click on that picture. I've never seen the Batman building. I used to love Batman when I was a little kid. My mom introduced me to like the old school kind, you know, where Batman and Robin wore like tights and they had the silk masks and the silk capes still. I love those. And they would,
still wear
they would, and they would punch each other and it would be like, wow, pow, you know, I love that. Anyway. Okay. So Cody Johnson and Carrie Underwood's duet, I'm Gonna Love You, climbed to #1 country radio this week, overtaking previous leader Cole Swindell's Forever to Me, also entered the top 5 according to posts on X.
On X.
I know. That's
Twix.
weird to read that. Twix. Since we started this podcast, I've really been listening to a lot of classic rock because I'm trying to do my homework.
You're trying to keep up. Trying to
I
keep
can't
up
have
with
you
the old
sing-
farts.
Yes. I can't have you mentioning more bands that I don't know. So I honestly, it's been nostalgic for me. So I'm like, I'm just going to listen to it. You know, we talk about these songs and then they just get me thinking about other songs that I've loved so much. And then I'm like, forget it. I'm going on classic rock. So that's what I've been listening to a lot lately. Okay, and then the Duggar Band, a Tennessee country duo, was reportedly barred from performing their song True Colors on Today in Nashville due to its perceived political bias, sparking discussion about artistic freedom as noted on posts on X. Clearly, these came from X. So I don't know Duggar Band, but what do you think about artistic freedom? I know we talked about it a little bit with AI.
We also talked about it with political views, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, my stance is if that's what you're into and that's what you want to stand behind, then by all means do it. But if you're a commercial artist selling commercial music and all of a sudden you take a left turn to promote something that's completely out of whack, that to me it's off-brand and I don't necessarily like that.
Well, also, I mean, maybe you would know this, but do recording labels shy away from things like that? So this is just a country Tennessee duo. I don't know who they work with. I don't know how they got on Today in Nashville. But if it was, I don't know, Eric Church, would they put parameters around him to not be leaning or, you know what I mean? Like, do they have to kind of stay on the straight and narrow?
Well, it depends on the artist. I mean, Eric Church is probably a bad example because he goes out on his own. I mean, that's what he's known for. But yeah, the label tries to guide you. They try to give you advice. They try to make you fit a mold that they're creating. And I know this is probably the unpopular stance when you're talking about this, but it is the music business. And record labels are businesses. They are the ones that have been around for years. The artists are typically new. They're new to the business. They're new to all of this. They might have talent, but they're relying on that record label to truly run the business in most cases. Yes, you can do all these things yourself, but it's a lot harder and it's going to take a lot more time and you're going to have to learn a lot more things on your own.
Yeah.
But the labels are usually the ones that truly know how to make the business work. So yes, the label will guide the artist as much as they can, and an artist will put that reputation at risk if they choose to go against the wishes of that label. But if they went against the label's wishes and it was successful, the label will be just fine with it, because at the end of the day, it's about business. It's not about whatever the message was.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I mean, if you think about back to the Dixie Chicks, when they became political or they made their statement, then a lot of people in Nashville, they were driving by Sony Records and taking the Dixie Chicks CD and throwing them out on the sidewalk. You could drive down Music Row and there'd be a big giant pile of CDs on the side of the road because the people were speaking by taking the product and throwing it back at the record label.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that backlash was bad for the relationship between them and the label. Where
sure.
if everybody was, raising the flag and saying, hell yeah, then the label would probably be saying, you're a genius, let's go.
Got it. Well, we have Radiohead reunion hints. So this is kind of, this was a fun story for me to read, and I didn't know this before. So Radiohead, the Grammy-winning art rock band, has sparked excitement by registering a new business entity, Rook 25, last week. So this move, I guess that they've done this before. Let's see here, it echoes the past patterns before, releasing albums like A Moon-Shaped Pool in 2016 and In Rainbows in 2007. Fans speculating about new music or a tour, though it could also be tied to side projects like The Smile, given the involvement of all core members, and then it lists who they are. So I thought that was kind of interesting that it's like when you know that permits have been pulled to have a building put in place and people are like, wait, we got wind that, a Chick-fil-A is coming on this road or whatever. That's kind of what it made me think of, is that I think that's kind of genius that they, register this new business and what does it mean? And it's got their fans all excited.
That is pretty cool. It's funny they used Chick-fil-A as the example at work today. I heard a bunch of people talking. They go, oh no, we got a Chick-fil-A. We have a Chick-fil-A in our neighborhood. I live in an area where neighborhoods could be like 3 houses. So the fact that somebody's talking about having a Chick-fil-A is funny to me.
During COVID, we actually had the coolest thing. They would come into our neighborhood. They would set up a table, and some people would like pre-place an order. I think that was only if you wanted like their 20 chicken nugget piece thing. But otherwise, they would just come. They'd put up literally like a, plain Jane table, like a card table. No cover, no nothing. They just show up with like one of their little hot bags. They'd unzip it and you could get like a chicken sandwich, the chicken nuggets, and maybe fries. There was just a few offerings, but none of the restaurants were open or anything. So it was a way for the restaurant to, generate income, and it was a way for the neighborhoods to have something other than the crappy food that their mom cooked.
Mom's home cooking.
Some of the meals that I make, my family would say, ooh, mom's cooking. And some of the food that I make is like just edible.
Is also, ooh, mom's cooking.
So my husband is in my phone as Prince Charming. And it's kind of the same thing where when he's calling, I'm like, ooh, it's Prince Charming. And then other times when he calls and I'm mad at him, I'm like, oh, it's Prince Charming. There's a dual meaning.
Well, let me tell you, my wife is in my phone as the best wife ever, and ever is in all caps, because she put it in the phone that way.
Yeah.
And we discussed my being anal the other day.
Yeah.
So I went back and changed it to, Jennifer Franze. And she got mad. So I said, fine, I put it back. But now, when I'm in the car with a client or I'm doing anything, I'm driving down the road, it's like, can you call the best wife ever?
Yeah.
I would say it louder, but I don't want the phone to pick up. But
Right.
But yeah, so now I got to say that, or read my latest text from the best wife ever.
Yeah. Well, my ringtone from my husband used to be bok, 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 bok. So when I was calling him, that's what he would get. And I was like, that is not nice. You take that ringtone off. He's got Prince Charming, and I've got bok, 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 bok.
Makes sense. I can hear it right now.
So now I'm in his phone as just the wife, which I will take that. It does not offend me at all. Okay. Queen's potential new material. On March 19th, Brian May confirmed that there is a quote unquote real possibility of Queen releasing new music, which this gets me so excited. This follows years of speculation since their last original work with Freddie Mercury was in 1991. Reports suggest that this could involve archived recordings or fresh contributions from May and Roger Taylor, exciting fans of the legendary rock band. I do not know May and Roger Taylor. Do you know these names?
Yes, ma'am.
You do. Tell me more.
Original members of the band Queen.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then that makes sense. But why does it say exciting fans of the legendary rock band?
The legendary band Queen. Yes, they're
I
going
know
on
the
without
band is
Freddie
legendary,
Mercury,
but why is it calling them fans? I don't like it. I don't like this press release. I don't like it. We should fire them.
Oh, yeah. They're fired. We don't have enough buttons to fire all these people. We can only fire you.
It makes me feel very empowered to think we could fire somebody else, though, because I'm always the one getting fired.
It's true. You are always getting fired.
I want someone else to get fired, Jay. Yeah. Anyway, that could be very exciting. Did you see the Freddie Mercury movie? I actually saw it in theater. I thought it was pretty good.
I may have seen it.
I think I've decided I'm going to watch more. I guess maybe it's called a rockumentary.
Or is it a biopic?
It might be a biopic. Oh my gosh, I was listening to our episode and I mispronounced it twice. Biopic. I was laughing at myself. If you guys didn't hear it, you got to go back and listen because clearly I've never heard the term before. So I didn't realize this was a history show. I've learned so many things that are
You know
old.
what? I don't know if it's intended to be. It's just the fact that I'm old and you don't know much. So there you go.
I'm learning though. Every day, learning. That's what you're supposed to do. Every day you learn something new. You never stop learning. Speaking of never stop learning, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has announced an immersive Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary exhibit. So you can go in and learn all about SNL.
Not going to put me in glass, are they?
I don't know, but I've been thinking about that. That would have been so cool to have you in glass watching you remaster
It'd be
those
so
tapes.
cool to have you in glass. Feel like you're a little
you know what I'm
prison
saying.
cell.
No, like
Would I get a lunch
you're
break?
like-
And if I got a lunch break, do you put a little rope around the area? I mean, how's it work?
Yes, you get the red velvet rope.
And I mean,
This is high.
how
high
many
importance.
hours do you have to work the whole time they're open? Do you sleep there? Do you get to go home? I have
You
so
get to
many
go
questions.
home. You get to go home. You can't have any beverages though, not even water, because you couldn't be repping a brand unless they pay. Maybe they pay for product placement. Then you got a Dasani in there or something, right? Because you can't have Pepsi in
It's
there.
Coca-Cola's water.
Oh well,
And
whoever's
do
water.
you know the only water that puts salt in it?
I did not know that. I wonder why you know that, Jay.
'Cause I've got nothing better to do with my life.
Things we learn along the way. Again, never stop learning. Anyway, the exhibit is supposed to be opening this spring, spotlighting rock performances from legends like Bowie, Prince, to modern acts like Billie Eilish. And Billie Eilish, okay, sorry, it's a nod to rock's culture footprint. Billie Eilish came on the radio the other day and I was like loving whatever the song was. And I looked at my dash and it said Billie Eilish. And I was like, oh, I like a Billie Eilish song.
There you go.
And it made me think of your daughter.
My daughter loves her. I don't know why, but she loves her.
Yeah, well, I was happy that I could actually hear the words. So it made me happy. Because a few songs that have made the radio from her, I feel like she's just whispering under the music. And I hate it. It's like a secret. What could the song possibly be? I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't like Breaking Up. Do you like Breaking Up, Jay?
It depends on who it's with. I mean, if you're telling me you're going to take my wife away from me, we might have something to talk about tonight. But wait, if she's listening, it's just a joke. Just a joke. I always have to check to see what time it is when I make some of these jokes.
It don't matter if she's listening tomorrow.
Fair enough.
I suppose when the episode's released.
So is this a transition into our question of the day?
It is a transition into our question of the day.
All right, I like it. So we're going to transition into our question of the day, which is your favorite breakup song.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be fair, it says favorite breakup song. It doesn't have to be a song that specifically spells out a breakup. It doesn't have to be a song about a breakup. It just has to be your favorite song that you use to get you through the breakup.
Yes.
All right. So I'll start with one of my favorite songs. Probably shouldn't start with this, but I like a band called Five Finger Death Punch.
Yep.
They have a song called Burn MF.
I was recently exposed to this song.
It seems like it would be fitting for a breakup.
Yeah, I think so. Because you would have a lot of rage.
Might have a little bit of rage to go on there. I don't know. I always think of that song that if I were a fighter going into a ring, that would be my walkout song.
Well, my favorite story about that song is from yesterday when I had to drive down to Orlando. So I was like, okay, I want to check out when Jay was on Caden's show, and I wanted to listen to one of George's songs that he had posted. And so I pulled it up and he's talking to Caden, and Caden's asking him about, you're saying Five Finger Death Punch, and then you said the song Burn MF. And I was like, let me just check it out. So, in the car, hey Siri, and I ask her to play it. And I don't know about you guys, but podcasts play super quiet in my car. So I have to turn, like if I listen to the radio in my car, I'll have it at like 12. Okay. And then I do a podcast, I've easily got to have it at like 25. Okay. So I turn the volume up really loud. And every once in a while, and because I'm always listening to podcasts, I will turn the car off, go in, do whatever. And then when I get back in the car, I turn the car on and the music is like in my face. Okay. So I'm like, oh, I should check this song out. So I tell her to play the song, and it just comes in hard at me, scares the living daylights out of me. Cause it just comes right at you, like right out of the gauge. And I was like, oh my God.
My wife laughed at me. I was in California, and I had a Slingshot. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Three-wheel vehicles.
I'm from Iowa.
Okay, fine. Three-wheel vehicles, no top. So
the vehicle.
Not the actual Slingshot. The vehicle. So it's similar to a convertible. It's like driving around in a dune buggy or something. But
yeah, they're cool.
I had one when I was in California, and I was sitting at a light outside of my kid's dance studio, and that song came on my playlist. And so it's fairly loud because I get to listen to it loud as I'm driving with no top. And I look next to me, and there's an older woman. She's just looking at me like, huh? And I'm like, my wife's, in the car behind me as we're leaving the dance studio, just laughing. So, yeah, song brings out the best of everybody. So there you go. It's a little something for everybody tonight. Miss Tiffany, my friend, what is your favorite breakup song?
Well, it's a little bit more subdued than yours. It's Jewel, You Were Meant for Me.
That's a great song.
So my boyfriend that I had in 8th grade, freshman year, sophomore year, and then we broke up a couple times, freshman, sophomore year, whatever. So every time we would break up, I would play this song. And I just, she gets like vulnerable or kind of like sentimental, like it strips away a lot of the music and she's just kind of singing, or it's like acoustic almost. And yeah, I like the imagery that she's talking about. And yeah, she's just talking about like, their daily life together and how it was. And then she says, I was made for you, you were made for me. But no, not anymore.
But yet we didn't make it to the finish line.
No.
I like Joel. We should get her on the show. Joel, if you're listening, reach out. We'll get you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
We'll cut you to the front of the line. Okay?
We'll make some exceptions.
How much we like it. We'll just cut you to the front of the line. All right, well, let's take a look. George says, Fleetwood Mac, go on your way.
Oh, I thought he was going to say landslide based
Go
on...
your own way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
can
say it, I
go
should probably say it
your
right.
own way. That's so good. That's on the record that I have of theirs. I love when it comes on.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of them.
I was never a big Fleetwood Mac fan.
I know. You're fired.
One of the producers I worked with, Chaz Sanford is his name. He did a lot of work with Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks and so on.
Jealous.
George, I'm
I like
going to
her
give you
voice.
2 in a row, just because you put 2 in a row. Phil Collins, Against All Odds.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great song too. I like
It
Phil
is a
Collins.
good song. I do too.
I think
And REM.
pretty and REM. I was never a fan of REM. But Phil Collins, yes. I think it's
Yes.
sad, everything he's going through now, but
I don't know. What's he going through right now?
getting old.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he's got something wrong with him, but as he gets older, he's losing the ability to stand or perform or, sing and all of the fun things.
It's got to be so hard because it's like their identity,
Oh,
and then now
For so long.
it's, yeah. And then all of a sudden it's just gone.
All right, Epic Roxy. She says, "Love hurts."
Love hurts. It's a good one.
Yeah, I like it. George is popping back to Phil Collins here. He likes the emotions. It's a huge part of the explanation.
I think that's what it is with all of the ballads or, the breakup songs that we're referencing is there's a lot of good emotion in them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was always a good one. That was definitely a good one. Let's see. Michael says, Hard Habit to Break by Chicago.
Oh, yes. This is reminding me that when I met my husband, I had a boyfriend at the time, but I told him I was going to go on the date with my husband now. So I openly cheated is what I like to say. And,
Love
yeah.
this.
Oh, I lost my train of thought. What were we just talking about? Chicago. What was the song?
You cheated on your husband and flirting with
No.
George last week.
No,
Hard Habit
no,
to Break.
I don't know. You guys, I don't know. Mom brain. It's gone.
Tiffany, you're fired.
I deserve that.
Yes.
It'll come back to me.
Yes, you do.
I guess I just wanted to tell you guys that story.
Epic Roxy has chimed back in and says, Don't Go by
who?
Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Oh, it's a little bit older. I don't know it.
Paul says, Cry for No One by the Beatles.
Oh, I don't know this one either.
I don't know the song, but it sounds like a better message to me. Jay, not this Jay, but that Jay, says, Had Enough by Mr. Big.
I don't know who Mr. Big is. I'm sure I'm supposed to know, but what I, yeah. But what it makes me think of is Mr. Big from Sex and the City. That was Carrie's
Not the same.
boyfriend.
Now, what I don't understand is if I know Mr. Big from Sex and the City, why don't you know Mr. Big, the rock band?
I feel like I do, but I can't place it right now. Help me out.
They are from the 80s, 90s.
I know.
They
Why
were
don't I know
very
it?
very good band. I don't remember the name of the song, but I remember being out at a nightclub, a place called the Palace. It was in Saugus, Massachusetts. It was a cold, rainy night. No, Saugus, Massachusetts, a place called the Palace. They had like 12 nightclubs in one complex. And they had a piano bar, a rock bar, country bar, all these different bars and music. And I met this girl, and we were dancing to a song by Mr. Big. And then come to find out, as at the time I thought things were going well, come to find out this was her bachelorette party, and she was having her one last night.
Oh, no. What a lucky
It crushed me,
guy.
and I've never been the same since.
She chose you.
Is that what it was?
She.
I think the bear probably chose anybody that was in her way. I don't know. She was cute.
Oh, that's crazy.
All right, Bruce Tarletsky, folks. We have a Nashville
Bruce.
supergroup member here on the show with us. He says, "I will always love you."
Oh.
Now he says Whitney Houston. I'm going to say
I was
Dolly
gonna ask.
Parton.
Oh, no, not Dolly Parton. No. I cannot support that, Jay.
Tiffany.
No.
Reaching. Oh,
No, Bruce is right. Bruce knows what's up.
not.
Yes.
Dolly wrote the song. She feels
I don't care.
the song. She emotes
No.
the song.
Whitney, that tender vibrato. No, Whitney gets it.
I'll give you that high C or whatever that note is she hits during that song. I mean, great. Yes, talent-wise, she's got it. Just as a person, I just never got into her.
Yeah, but even the beginning of that song, like when Dolly does it, it's kind of like whiny country or like old country, like that real twangy. I don't know. I don't like it. And then Whitney comes in with that sultry, if I, it's just like, it's just haunting. It's just ripping her heart out. Dolly's just performing a song.
Just remember, Dolly wrote the song.
Don't care. I side with Bruce. Bruce was right. Way to go, Bruce.
I don't know. I don't know if I could do that.
We're going to have to agree to disagree. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah.
Although maybe
Women
Bruce
might
is
be
from
a little
Venus with me.
further out than that, but the longer I live, the more I realize there must be some rings around Venus. All right, Stephen. I still want to say Stefan every time I see it spelled this way, but Stephen. He says, Limp Bizkit, My Way or the Highway.
I don't know this song. I know Limp Bizkit, but I don't know that song.
I would sing it to you, but again.
Do it. I bet you can't.
I definitely cannot sing. But yes, yeah, that's a good choice, Stephen. I like your choice.
Okay, I'm going to look it up,
I'm
Steven.
gonna be playing that for Tiffany tonight.
Ooh. Breaking up is hard to do.
Is it though? It seems like this would be pretty easy. Oh, Misty says Shatter by Meredith Brooks. You don't know Meredith Brooks either, do you?
No.
She sings the song called Oh man.
Nope.
Add it
I
to
know
your
Crazy
list.
by Buck Cherry, but I don't know that.
That's a great song.
I
Great
love
stripper
that
song.
Well, whatever.
That is a stripper song for sure. It's right up there with Nickelback. But yes, write down Meredith Brooks.
Okay, Meredith Brooks.
She
It's
was
going in as homework,
she's
people.
a good artist, and if I remember correctly, there's only one album.
Was she a one-hit wonder?
Possibly. I wouldn't quite say one-hit wonder. I don't think the hit was all that big of a hit. And there may have been
Well,
a
I
couple
picked up-
songs in there, but
Freaking pen that's dry.
story about life.
Meredith Brooks, right?
Meredith Brooks. Break
Okay.
Me, Shake Me by Savage Garden.
Oh, I love Savage Garden.
Also by Misty, just so I don't leave names out.
Now, Misty, are you breaking up a lot?
Apparently Misty she's got her go-to songs.
Or she had one bad breakup and those were the songs that got her through. Ooh, can I add another one? Oh, God. Speaking of Eric Church. Eric Church, that's who we were talking about, right?
Yes, Eric Church is
yes.
who we were talking about.
Yes. I did a podcast episode on his having a record year. That song, the lyrics in there are freaking genius. Do you know this song?
I do know the song.
Oh my God, he's counting on a needle to save him. He's having a record year. Oh my God, he slips in like all the old country artists' names of the records that he's listening to. God, I love that song so much. That would be my song. Because he's like, you're trying to get me down, but he's like, I'm listening to all these songs, I'm rediscovering them, and I'm having a record year actually, like vinyl. Oh, I love that song.
You really did pay attention to the lyrics.
I love that song, and it's because of the lyrics.
All right. You can stick around a little longer.
Thank you. Credit earned.
Dina says, I Can't Make You Love Me by Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt. That's another good one.
Eddie says, Better Man, Better Off, Tracy Lawrence.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I'm leaving here a better man.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
I wouldn't have known the song until you sang it, but of course I know the song.
Oh, you didn't know the song, Jay?
No.
Oh, you're fired.
There's no button for that.
Well, we need to
You
get
a
one,
button for
okay?
I don't know. We'll have to reach out to whoever's in
It's
control
gonna
of the
be
buttons.
get your ass out of the studio. That's what yours is gonna be.
All right, I see how it is. I miss one. It's not true. I've missed quite a few of these days. Robert says, Mowing Down the Roses. Jamie Johnson. I have no
don't know
idea,
it.
but you know what? He put a little rose emoji in there.
I like it. I'm a big fan of those emojis. We
you
asked our networking group what makes you open an email, and my response was emojis in the subject line.
Really?
Oh man,
I heard
especially
somebody talking
that
about
damn
emojis
rocket.
the other day saying that they would be fine if we just removed them out of everything we do these days.
No, they bring so much joy to me. And if you are clever enough to put an emoji in the subject line, and like I said, especially the rocket. I don't know why it's the rocket, but the rocket's so cute and cartoony, and I just
That was
love
the one
it.
that they called out and said they don't want anymore. The AI overuses it, and everybody's overusing it.
That's true. That is true. AI loves it, but so does Tiffany Mason. So
All right.
whatever.
Let me ask, as long as we're talking about emojis, what's the
Yes.
the most common emoji you use?
Either the girl that the face to the palm, she's like, ugh, that lady, and the guy that's laughing with tears but his head's to the side, and poop.
Poo. Poo is actually chocolate ice cream, but chocolate ice cream took a bad rap. And now chocolate ice cream is nothing but poo. But yes, mine is the smiling face, but it's upside down.
Oh yes, I think I've received one of those from you.
All right.
Why are you
moving on.
smiling upside down all the time? Why not just a regular smiley face? Because you gotta be different. You're upside down, but you're happy about it. What is happening?
I
Why
don't
are we
know. There's
choosing
some
an
sort of
upside
meaning
down?
behind it. To me, it's like I don't know what's going on. My whole world's upside down.
Did you see that there is a new one? I feel like the hand it's like this,
Oh yeah.
and then there's like a swoosh on the sides, and it's supposed to be where no hand, but same thing, but they're supposed to be
Oh,
bowing.
wait, no, that was an emoji. No, that was my kid. What was he? Oh, he's playing video games. I don't know.
No, it just didn't have the saluting hand, but it still had the face. But
That's
it kind
just
of had
called
like
the bow.
right, but I didn't know what it was. It's new, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then I found out through the grapevine, aka my younger children, that one of them has a really bad connotation. So, one of the smiley faces, people. So just be careful what smiley face you use, okay? If it's like the painful, like kind of like a whining, let's not use any of those. Don't do it.
Coleman.
Yes.
Coleman
Emoji lessons.
says, breaking up is hard to do. Neil Sedaka.
Yep.
He's reaching back for that one.
Sometimes it's like instead of breaking up, you wish that you were making up,
All right.
No.
What?
Did you guys just see that? Don't you know the lyrics to Breaking Up is Hard to Do? Because breaking up is hard to do. They say that breaking up is hard to do. Instead of breaking up, I wish that we were making up. I try to make a joke. You're fired. Tonight, you're fired. Okay?
Maybe your joke just didn't land. It's all right.
Okay. Caden, Bruce, I want to know, George, did my joke land? Or did Jay flatten it out? I think he's like a freaking pancake.
That could be as well.
Do you want some syrup to go with that pancake?
All right. I normally read the names here, but this one is a little longer than most. It's more like a phrase. Deadline nearing, inbox review needed.
Okay.
Deadline nearing, inbox review needed. And the song is Hit the Road, Jack.
Yeah. Man, I wish that when you broke up, you really, I mean, I guess if you're the one breaking up with them, maybe you feel that way. I feel like I was always broken up with.
George, really, buddy? Really, George? This is 2 weeks in a row. I thought we had something. I thought we had something, George.
Y'all, George says it landed. So, do you want some syrup with that pancake?
Anthony. Oh, God. Anthony says, F you. But it's an actual song. He's not just saying that to our question. This is by Wheeler Walker Jr. And if you're familiar with Wheeler Walker Jr., he has some very colorful titles for his songs. Jessica Renee, if you are familiar with Carried Away, she is the lead vocalist of Carried Away, and she is here to say All Too Well by Taylor Swift.
Ooh, if you like that song, I did a podcast episode on it. And the girl that picked it was a Swiftie from before it was cool to be a Swiftie. She chose the 10-minute version.
It's my daughter's favorite, too.
Yeah. But it's true. Like, all of her song has such meat in it. I love the You Need to Calm Down. You know, it was popular for a while. But if you think about all the words in there, it's like, it must have taken all night for you to make that sign. Why are you so mad when you should be glad? You know, and she's referencing the group Glad. I love her lyrics to her songs because there is so much depth to them. Plus, they're fun and they kind of roll off your tongue. But that is such a good song, that All Too Well song. I loved it. I had not heard it before. I liked a lot of the other ones. I tend to go towards more upbeat songs. So if it's a little bit of a slower song, I'll usually bypass it. And so I'm sure I bypassed it at some point. But that interview made me go back and listen to it. And I loved it. So if you want to check it out, it's Memories of the Beat. And it will just say All Too Well, 10-minute version, Priscilla Brooks. And we had a great conversation about it. And I agree with her. It's a good song.
There you go.
You have my endorsement.
George throws another one in, the Breakup song. I mean, pretty direct with that. It's by Greg Kihn. Do you know who Greg Kihn is?
I don't, but I feel like I know this song.
I'm sure you do. It was a popular song.
Yeah.
Greg Kihn is a great artist from the 80s. Another
I'm
one
gonna
from
look
the
it
80s. Yep. Add it to your list. It's all right. I get it. Anne Marie says Mr. Sunshine by The Killers.
I don't know the Killers. I do know the Breakup song.
Mama
Mama
Nana.
Nana.
Number 4, Eva. Mama Nama forever. I will survive.
I will survive. So good.
Yes, it's a good
I think
song.
that's what you need. You need like an anthem.
Yes, I have an anthem. Burn MF. That's my anthem. I don't.
And a walk-up song.
This is
for when you
is
join
sad
the UFC.
to pick that song as my anthem and my walk-up song and everything. Out of all the songs I've listened to throughout the years and the artists I've listened to, this is not a good representation of that catalog of music. But for whatever reason, that song just hypes me up.
I think if I was going to go to the gym and work out, I'd like that song. I like more aggressive music like that when I'm going to go work out. Well, maybe it would fire you up to like just pummel your opponent. You know, maybe that's what you're thinking. Like it would just bring out your animal instinct to just
Is that what it is?
destroy the
fighter in
enemy.
me. Arr.
Yeah.
Kate Stanton in the house. Kate Stanton, amazing singer-songwriter. She says, somebody that I used to know.
Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Somebody.
Nice. She says, captures the feeling perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Ready? Ready for this one? Get ready for it.
Hit me with your best shot.
No, that's a good. I love Pat Benatar. My brother is in the house.
Mr. Franze.
How'd you know? Chad, my brother Chad is in the house. He says, Brett Young, Like I Loved You. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love.
Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love, Chad.
There you go. Cindy says, Before He Cheats.
Yeah, that's a good one. My mom said that when she commented on that one on my social.
Is your mom Kathy?
My mom is Kathy.
Kathy says, Before He Cheats by one Miss Carrie Underwood.
I know.
May as well be formal.
Do you remember on the podcast that I said every time the Storm song comes on, till it's all blown away, by Carrie Underwood? But I always think it's Two Black Cadillacs.
Yes.
Did I? Yes. Okay. So my daughter, her school team has been done with cheer, and now her extra team is starting their competitions, and they got their dance music, and their team name is Storm, and they have part of that freaking Carrie Underwood song. I'm like, dang it. Because every time it starts, I always think it's going to be Two Black Cadillacs. And I get so excited because I love how vindictive the wives are. Like they've done him wrong, but they slip something in his drink, that no one's ever going to find out about. And gone. Love it. These women get total vindication. They're not breaking up. They're burying him. They're tossing some roses on his grave. They smile at each other and just walk away. I love it.
I love those songs. I mean, she does a great job. Mm-hmm. Two more.
Okay.
Yes. One of them is Mina or Mina. Which one is it?
Mina.
Mina. She says July
Mina.
by Noah Cyrus.
I don't know it.
Well,
But I think she had another one. I think I know that
I'm
one.
glad we halted everything for that. That's homework for both of us. And then Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. I love Justin Timberlake.
This is still
I think
Mina, so I just figured I'd mention that because I don't want to be naming 16 more songs and have somebody say, you said there was two. This is Mina. Mina's, a little greedy with her comments here, but, we're going to allow it to go. Justin Timberlake, he was a very nice guy. I had a chance to work with him once in Nashville.
Oh, cool.
He was a big wise ass, so we get along very well because of that. He made a wise ass crack about me, and I made one right back to him. Those were the very first comments we made to each other, were his wise ass comments.
Oh my goodness.
And people looked at us like they thought there was going to be a problem, and we just both
Yeah.
laughed, and it was funny.
Oh my gosh, that's super cool. You guys could just read each other's energy or something.
Yeah, good times.
I love knowing that about him because of his work on Saturday Night Live and just, him as an artist. And
Well, he's a funny dude,
Yeah.
just in general. He's got a good sense of timing. He's very good.
yeah.
I remember the first time I picked him up. What did he say to me? Oh, are you driving, Miss Daisy? Yeah, I looked at him like, you realize that would make you Miss
You're
Daisy,
Miss Daisy.
right? But, yeah, he was a funny dude.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Anyways, Mina has one more. She says, When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars.
When I Was Your Man. I love that song too. So good. Kind of sticking it to him. He's saying, I didn't treat you right. And so whoever is your man now, I hope he's doing those things that you wanted. And I wish I would have done them when I was your man.
See,
Mm-hmm.
that seems like someone who doesn't want to be breaking up.
The guy didn't want to, but maybe she broke up with him. So they're still breaking up, but he's resisting. And
Girls
he
are
wants...
tough. During those times, you have to remember the rings around what planet was it we say? Mars.
Mars.
Mars, the rings that we did not know existed around Mars. Just keep remembering that every time somebody wants to break up. All right. David says, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was supposed to do here.
It's awesome.
To be fair, that makes perfect sense, David.
Yes.
We don't know what we're supposed to do here either.
Sorry, I didn't know what I was
That
supposed
one
to
made
do
my
here.
night. There you go. All right, move on to your entertainment news.
Okay, on March 18th, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler launched their podcast, Good Hang. Tina Fey, okay, she's okay for me, but Amy Poehler, I really like Amy Poehler, and we watch a lot of Parks and Rec.
Tina Fey.
Huh? Because you like the
she's
segment.
Disturbingly hot.
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, not to my eyes. No, these baby blues don't get it.
Disturbingly. Like, she's not traditionally hot. She's like one of those people, it's her humor.
Because
she's good looking. I like her.
do you think it's because you know in the bedroom she's like bossing?
Dear God,
She's
I
like
thought
the
you said
dominatrix.
because you know her in the bedroom. No, I don't know her in the bedroom. Where's this conversation going? Babe, if you're listening, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
I'm just thinking, like, when you say disturbing, I think that's where it
Not
makes me think
traditional.
that.
She's not traditionally hot.
Yeah.
Maybe it's her humor and stuff, but she's a beautiful woman.
The beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
No, she's beautiful. My opinion matters. It's across the board. If I think it, you have to think it too.
Okay, fair enough. It's like I tell my husband, nothing's my fault. So whatever happens,
Tina
it's
Fey,
your
is she
fault.
hot?
Well, I said Amy Poehler would excite me because we watch a lot of
Yes,
Parks and Rec.
yes, we all have our thoughts.
I like that show a lot. I like Chris Pratt, and I like the woman who plays his wife, April, which she's kind of become famous now too, but I don't know what her real name is. But yeah, I like a lot of the characters on that show. What I was really excited to talk about was what was coming up next. I don't know if you know the comedian Whitney Cummings. First of all, I freaking love her.
Of course I know the comedian Whitney Cummings.
Okay. And she supposedly like co-creator Emmy-winning sitcom Two Broke Girls. But really what I like her from was the autobiographical series Whitney. I don't know if you watched it. It was so good. And I love, what is the guy's name? Chris. It's like Diamitro or something like that. But he has a skit where he's talking about girls getting drunk. And he's like, once they start drinking, they're like, I don't know, it was even matter. And I think it's hilarious. So every time I want to say, like, what does it even matter? I go to reference that, but then I realize other people don't know it. And then, you know, it's not nearly as fun.
Yeah,
but
makes sense.
she is on her second year of her tour, Big Baby, after recently welcoming her first child. So I think it was, you know, pre-baby and now it's post-baby. And I'm sure there's a lot of material now.
I am a fan of hers. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I do like her. Mm-hmm. But I have to be in the mood for it. She's a little too over the top at times. And
Okay. I'll take her all the time. No problem. No.
right.
You guys see how he's twisting my
Oh,
words?
yeah, it's me. It's me. I'm twisting it.
He's making faces, you guys,
Yeah.
and insinuating things.
Sounds just like me, doesn't it? Move on. What's next?
Okay, well, I was really proud to read this, that Jacksonville, Florida, just north of me, about 20 minutes. The comedy scene is experiencing growth, with Mayport emerging as a hot spot for stand-up performances, comedic events, and attracting both local and national talent. I'm kind of surprised by this Mayport situation. Mayport, so there's like Jacksonville, and then just north of it is one of the Army bases, and it's Mayport. And so it's kind of like this little city in and of itself. It's kind of this little, I don't know, arm of Jacksonville per se. Yeah, so it's just not very like developed. There's not a whole bunch of hotels. There's not a whole bunch of like, you know, upscale bars or any of that kind of stuff. So I am going to scour the
People have
net.
to laugh.
I'm going to scour the net and see where these people are performing because I'm very intrigued where this is happening because I'm a big fan of laughing and I wouldn't mind finding more places to laugh. That was kind of
You
exciting
big
for me.
stand-up fan?
I am a big stand-up fan. I have only been one time, but I like to catch it on TV. I know it's not the same, but, you know, I've had little kids up until this point, and grandparents, we sometimes lived by grandparents and we sometimes didn't, and it gets to be an expensive night if you pay for babysitters, plus eating out, plus the tickets to the show, plus if you've got to take an Uber or whatever to the show, or, you know,
the
just
26
gas. Or
drink minimum and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Are you a big stand-up fan?
I am. I used to perform in Vegas doing stand-up.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. You're a man of many talents.
I'm a man that's old. That's all it is. So
I don't know.
the older you are, the more things you've done. It's just that simple.
Yeah, but I don't feel like you ever do something subpar.
I don't like
I feel like, right. So you're a man of many talents. That's what that means. Just say, yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank
Own
you.
it. Yes.
I love you.
It's
Thank
okay.
you for your compliments. George
Yes,
says we need to hear
yes,
some.
yes.
Guess what, buddy? Not happening.
Wait, tell them what you told me today about when you were driving and there was hay.
Really? That's what you want to hear?
You want to hear some of his bit, George? Here it comes.
This is not any of a bit, but I will tell you. I was driving down the road and there was this truck in front of me and it had about 10 bales of hay. Those big round bales of hay and just stacked on the truck and it was spitting.
Wait a minute. Find the drum button.
Really?
Or do you have badum?
I'm sure I do.
Okay, find that first.
All right. So, I can't promise I'm going to hit the right buttons. You're building this up to more. It's a stupid dad joke, and you're building it up to
so
it.
good. It's so good.
Anyways, tractor trailer in front of me, about 10 bales of hay or whatever it is, the big round bales of hay on the truck. And I said, well, do you realize that they're making these round bales of hay illegal? She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, a cow can't get a square meal. Okay, there you go. There's your stupid dad joke.
It's your stupid ass dad joke,
That you wanted
but
to hear.
I really like
You
it.
tortured George with. That's what I'm saying. You made George listen to that. Anyways,
a
my
good
time in
one.
Vegas was a good time. But since then, now being in this neck of the woods, I've continued to go to shows, and there's maybe 2 or 3 venues around where I live. One of them is the high-end comedians that come through town. One of them is open mic style stuff. I went to one of the open mic nights one night, and the new style of comedy that's out there right now is, as you've probably seen on TikTok and everything, is a lot of crowd work. People they don't show you their jokes. They show you their crowd work.
Yeah.
And let's just say when you're a new comedian, crowd work might not be the best way to go because it can be rough.
A lot of pancakes.
Yeah, it could flop a little.
Yeah. They could fall flat and it could get sticky with the syrup.
George liked the round bale, eh? There you go.
See? I knew he would. I didn't torture him.
No, also remember, I have 3 girls. I would say little. They're not all little. One's turning 15, but the rest of them are little.
You got to keep
The
them
rest of
entertained.
my army.
Okay. Well, we talked about Jacksonville, where I live now. I'm going to skip to Minneapolis. They're having a comedy festival. It's returning for
Where
the
you used to live.
right. I was going to say that. Yes. Returning for the
Sorry,
third
did
year.
I steal your thunder?
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, we're going to start
I'll be
over.
quiet.
Now we have to start over. Okay.
Start
Okay.
it over.
Let's rewind. Okay.
We are coming at you live. I am Jay Franze, and
Okay, so Minneapolis Comedy Festival returning for the third year with Jamie Kennedy, Emo Phillips, and more. And yes, that's what I was going to say. That's where I used to live. So it makes total sense that comedy is basically following me. So started in Minneapolis. I think we only got to go to one stand-up there, though. Oh, we did go to Jerry Seinfeld. That was a really good show. And then down here.
comedy is following you and then takes you here to die. This is where comedy dies.
No, we're uphill. Mayport, they're experiencing growth, Jay. No. Okay. That's
George
funny.
says his grandkids make him laugh.
Aw. And they knew it. So cute. Okay. I don't know this, but I'm going to share it because I know you know it. So Bert Kreischer.
Okay.
He is premiering his latest Netflix special, Lucky. This week in the LA Times interview on March 18th, he credited his success to luck rather than hard work. I think that when you ask people who are pretty successful, I feel like a lot of times they say it's hard work and luck. So I like that they at least say that, like, you know, timing is everything kind of. Oh, timing is everything, even when you're doing stand-up comedy. Anyway. Sorry, I make myself laugh a lot. Okay. Yeah, yes. Sharing insights on retaining audience in the streaming era, Kreischer also humorously noted that he'd rather see his daughter's friend, Daisy, take up comedy than his own two kids who have seen the grind up close. Tell us about your BFF friendship with Bert.
I do not have one, but I will tell you some thoughts on Bert.
Yeah.
When I first saw Bert doing his podcasts and doing that type of stuff and getting to know him as from afar as a fan, that I didn't think he would be all that funny. And he came here to the area, Kentucky, and I took my wife to go see him, and it was one of the best shows I've seen. And this was in a stadium. I mean, this was in a stadium, and he held that audience right there on their edge of the seats in a stadium, an entire stadium full of people. He did an extremely good job, and I'm sure it was part of his act, but he called his wife during the show, and he was, just the whole thing. He was just destroying his family, and it's the type of humor that I like. So it was good. I liked him, but I don't know if you're aware of this. Have you ever seen the movie Van Wilder?
No. Nope. Don't do it.
Tiffany, you're fired.
No.
This is a big one,
Okay.
Tiffany. If you have not, write this one down for sure. If you have not seen Van Wilder,
It's
this is
kind
a
of like
movie-
American Pie.
It is that style of movie.
Right,
yes.
and I
National
don't-
Lampoon style movie.
Yeah.
You have to watch it. It's one
Okay.
of the best.
Okay. Van Wilder.
But
With
it's
Meredith
based on his
Brooks.
life. It's based on
Oh.
it was Bert Kreischer is who the movie's written after.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it's his time in Florida.
Oh.
He was going to, was it Florida State or University of Florida? One of those. I think it was Florida State, maybe. I don't know. But either way, he was the inspiration to that movie.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely check it out. Speaking of comedians performing in a stadium, do you know Dane Cook?
Oh, I do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Another Bostonian.
Oh, okay. Well, I must like people from Boston because I'm a big fan of Dane Cook. Okay. So I feel like you always have one part of the whole show, right? Like you remember bits and pieces, but one piece stands out more than others. And we talked about breakup songs, and Dane Cook in one of his whatever sets, he was talking about like when you break up with someone, and you're crying and you're like, I did my best. I did my best. And he's like, you've always got that one phrase just keeps going through your head over and over and over. So it made me think of that because the special that I watched, Dane Cook was in a stadium, but he had a round so he could like walk and, talk to everybody as he performed, which was very impressive, but he's really good.
He is awesome. I mean, he is definitely one of the originals who did that style of comedy. And I mean, I've got nothing but respect for him. I know he gets a bad rap. He's kind of like the Nickelback of comedians, where everybody loves him, but he gets a bad rap. Like everybody wants to say they hate him.
I don't hate him.
He got
Won't do
he
it.
got his start on MySpace.
Oh, really?
He took MySpace when it came out. He took hold of MySpace and just
Did you ask
got
him to give it
millions
back
and
to
millions
you?
of followers, and that's how he blew up.
Did you ask him to give it back to you?
I asked him to give my space back, yes. That bastard. Look at you with the dad jokes now. I like it. George says he loves us both. Well, George, I'm thankful and feel bad for you at the same time.
I'm glad we can
enjoy
grace
having you
your-
here,
our
George.
comedy.
You are our favorites.
We were
I
talking
say
about you
that like
today,
a joke
George.
when I tell people that. I told some girl at work that I said, you're my favorite. She goes, yeah, I've heard you tell other people that. Sorry.
Well, we have had spring break this week, so I am in day 3, and we went to the beach today, and yesterday we did a Starbucks run, and the day before we went on the golf cart. We are not doing like a trip or anything like that
Are
necessarily.
you just going down the list of things you did throughout the day?
No, we did different things on different days.
Is there a point to this?
No, not
Just give
really.
me you're just looking down your to-do list and you're just reading it off to me. Did laundry, made dinner.
No, more my point is like, I feel a little stressed out looking on social media, everybody's on their spring break trips. And I'm like, wah, wah, we're just like here hanging out. But we've really, I grew up in Iowa, and honestly, sometimes like the more simple the fun, the more fun it actually is. So, you can spend all this money and go on these extravagant vacations and have all these excursions. But at the end of the day, sometimes I feel like we don't connect, my family and I don't feel like we connect as much as when we do the small things. So we took a trip out to Mount Rushmore one year, and we stayed in these little cabins that did not have running water or anything for 3 nights. And then my husband was like, I don't know if our family can handle it. So we booked 2 nights in a hotel, and none of us wanted to leave the campsite. We all wanted to stay at the campsite. And so, sometimes it's those little things. So we've had a lot of fun going on the golf cart and going to the beach. And, I feel like I've had more genuine conversations with Hannah than I would have had we been on some trip doing something where, she goes and does her thing, and then Sean and I are doing our thing or whatever. So we usually bring a friend with us because Hannah's kind of like an only child now. So lots of times she gets to bring a friend, which of course pulls her away from us, and then we don't get the quality time and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so there's that. Coming up, we have cheer competition this weekend.
Whoa, before we go to cheer.
Whoa.
Your story made me think of my last vacation with my family.
Okay. Where'd you guys go?
With my parents.
Oh, okay.
When they were still here. I'm one of 3 boys, but I'm the oldest of the 3 boys.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
We met Chad earlier this evening.
Mm-hmm.
He is 7 years younger than I.
Oh, that's how many years are between Hannah and her middle brother.
And Craig is the other brother, the middle child, who is 6 years younger than I. So
Okay.
6 and 7 years younger than me. But my dad said, when I was about 14, that I probably wouldn't want to go on too many more family vacations. So he booked us a trip to Disney. And we liked the resort we were at so much that we didn't want to leave the resort. We didn't care about going to Disney or anything else. Swimming under the waterfalls and all the things they had.
Yeah.
But I do remember going to the park, and we were at Space Mountain, and I am afraid of heights. I don't
Me
like
too.
rides. Don't like any of this stuff.
No.
My dad wanted me to go on Space Mountain. I said no.
Mm-hmm.
My dad proved to me just how smart the man was. He walked up to the most beautiful girl in line, said something to her, and walked away. That girl came over to me and said, will you go on the ride with me?
And you went on Space Mountain.
And I went on Space Mountain.
Yes, you did. I'm proud of you.
There you go. My dad, if you're looking down now, I still remember that, you little bastard. Anyways, sorry. Just wanted to throw my 2 cents.
No, I too do not like heights. And it's not really heights, but like that butterfly feeling. Do you know the big pirate ship or whatever? It swings from side to side.
Yes.
Okay, and you go at the top and it messes with your stomach. And my dad used to always have a company picnic at this place called Adventureland in Iowa. And we would always go on the Galleon. That was the name of it. And I would always sit in the very middle. Well, he said,
Of course.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And he would say, oh, no, we got to sit all the way in the back, Tiff. We're going to sit all the way in the back. So we go in the back, and, the first couple things, I'm like, oh, and it's swinging back and forth. And then it like kind of takes off into the actual scary part of the ride, and I am screaming bloody murder. I am holding on. I am trembling. My whole body is shaking. I'm screaming loud. I'm ruining the ride for everybody on board. And the operator's like, do you want me to stop it? Sir, do you want me to stop it? My dad's like, nah, just keep on going.
Let her go.
Just let her go. And I was like, oh. And when we got off that ride, he literally had to pry each finger off one at a time. And he had to pick me up and carry me off. And I was probably 10 years old. And I, to this day, hate that ride. Don't want to go on it. No interest. I don't want to sit in the middle. I don't want to sit 2 rows back. I don't want to sit in the very end. I don't want to go. So that is my heights scary ride story.
I can tell you my adult height story, but that'll wait for another day. Remind me one day if we're ever talking about Death Valley or anything.
Okay.
That'll be my story.
Okay. We're going to be doing a new cheer team competition this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. Tomorrow will be a new episode from Memories with a Beat. Tom Schilling, and I'm trying to remember what song we talked about. I can look it up in a minute, but that's going to come out tomorrow. And Now I really want to know what it was. So you say
Tiffany, you're
something while I
fired.
look
Goodbye.
this up. Oh, I didn't say fire me.
Just saying. If you can't remember an interview that you did on your own,
I know.
deserve a little firing.
You know, there's so much going on all the freaking time. It's like keeping up with everything.
Well, you're looking your stuff up.
Yes.
I have to go on a conference next week, or not a conference, a site visit. I have to go visit a site and do an inspection. It's very exciting stuff. I should live my life. But it's down near Nashville, so I was thinking of going to Nashville next week and visiting a few friends of mine and all that type of stuff.
Fun.
George says he's glad he can't get fired.
Yes.
He says, at least I don't think I can. Trust me, George. It could happen. I might have another button or two left.
Okay, I looked it up. It was Corduroy. Of course, that's why I didn't think of it. It's by Pearl Jam. It's not like one that would come to my head easily.
Are you a Pearl Jam fan?
Yes. You know how you always ask me about the bands and I never know. I had a good friend in Chicago and she was like, I loved Pearl Jam.
Makes you such an asset for a music show. Just throwing that out there.
But how many lyrics have I known tonight?
Who's your agent, by the way?
Well, I can't give you that information.
I've got a bone to pick.
I can't give you that information.
Yes, you've known songs tonight. You've known lyrics. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
You are the lyric queen.
I am the lyric queen. I am Jukebox Tiffany. If there can be Jukebox Carrie, there can be
Don't know
Jukebox
if I would go that far.
Anywho, yes. So she said, you know, I used to listen to a lot of Pearl Jam, and I was like, I wonder if I like Pearl Jam. So I pulled it up quite a few of their songs, and I do love Pearl Jam. So
I like their album 10. The rest of the stuff is okay.
It's I.
It's I. But yeah, 10 was good. I like the song Black.
I like the song Black. I really think that probably anything by them I would be happy with, quite honestly. Just because of...
It got a little, as Fonzie would say, it jumped the shark. In my opinion.
Well...
That doesn't mean much, a lot, but that's what it meant to me.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I'm super excited about is, you know, I have Memories of the Beat where I interview somebody about their song, and then we have where we go and watch live music. And so on Friday night, if you're in the really Ponte Vedra, St. Augustine area, I guess Jacksonville too, we're going to be at Pesca's at 6 p.m. and we're going to be watching Vegas Grey. I'm pretty excited about this, actually. It's a dad, his son and his daughter, and they play acoustically. So I'm interested, but the Rachel who co-hosts with me is very excited about this. So I introduced her to somebody I was very excited about, and now she's introducing me to someone she's very excited about. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to disappoint. And I probably won't know the bands of the songs that they're covering.
Yeah, most likely not. It doesn't surprise me at all. All right. Well, folks, we have not only reached the top of the hour, we have blown past the top of the hour. We are now at the bottom of the hour, which is where our mind is in the gutter, and therefore we should leave. So if you've enjoyed the show, please tell a friend. Miss Tiffany, if you have not,
Tell two.
you can reach out to both of us over at jfranze.com, where we will be happy to keep this conversation going. Like I say, maybe not this conversation, but we'll have a conversation. Miss Tiffany, give us some final words.
Some final words. Go check out some new music. Go listen to someone that you haven't heard of before. Maybe check out some of the people that have been on Jay's show and just, you know, widen your horizon.
On that note, folks, have a good night.
Thanks for listening to The Jay Franze Show. Make sure you visit us at jfranze.com. Follow, connect, and say hello. This episode has been brought to you by VR Knives, your source for 100% custom knives made by a true rock star. So, if you're in the market for a new piece of art, reach out to VR Knives. 407-421-5528. 407-421-5528.